Tomorrow with
Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Rush Limbaugh program, a program that is devoted to the discovery of truth. A relentless pursuit of the truth underway each and every day. And we find it, my friends. Great to have you along on this, the EIB network.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
It is day, what does you say, 10? I've lost track. Day 10 of Tailgate. There we go.
live from New York. It's Open Line Friday,
Which means, is that what it is? The Winston-Salem, North Carolina Journal? They have to be Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's an amazing story. I talked to him about that. In fact, when I went out there over New Year's weekend, played golf with him. Talked about Paul Westphal, a former coach of the Phoenix Suns. Big story about how his friendship with me might be hurting his chances to get a gig as an NBA coach, if you can believe it. At any rate, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed down the tracks here. Phone number on Open Line Friday, 1-800-282-2882. We will be getting to a lot more phone calls this hour than we did last hour. I just had a whole bunch to wrap up, because tell you what, the media is going fast here, and with all the competition in the media and all these news networks, the coverage outruns the facts all the time, and they've got to have things to keep you interested, and they're always looking for new things, and that gets down to reporting rumor, and it gets down to reporting analysis that turns out to be incorrect, and we've got some really incorrect analysis from last night, that being that Judge Susan Weber Wright and her ruling that the Paula Jones case has to cease and desist here while Starr is conducting his investigation, in effect renders Monica Lewinsky and President Clinton's depositions immaterial in the Paula Jones trial, meaning they can't be used for later perjury charges. Turns out to be an incorrect analysis. And now the legal beagles are covering their tracks on television today after offering that analysis last night. So I'd tell you what I would do if I were you. If you are a news junkie, and if you are, shall we say, glued to your TV set or newspapers watching this stuff, give yourself 2 days on every bit of information you hear. Give yourself 2 days on every analysis or on every supposed new fact, new discovery. Give yourself 2 days before you believe it, because they're putting this stuff on unchecked. And that's the nature of the beast now. That's the reality. It's not something that's just unique and is going to change. It isn't going to change because the competition out there is so great with all these new news networks. It's okay. You just have to know how to use the news now, how to view it. One more little addition to something that I did speak about at great length in the first hour, and that is the administration's continuing effort to discredit Kenneth Starr. You know, this administration's technique is never answer questions. Don't answer questions, because if they don't have the answers, they're not going to. When they do, they do. When they have the answers to refute charges, they get them out. And then when they don't have them, then they attack the accuser. In this case, trying to vilify Starr. We've mentioned that Paul Jagot has a great point. If Starr is if really making a mockery of the criminal justice system, the president, in order to defend and preserve the Constitution, needs to fire Starr if he's making such a mess of our criminal justice system. But he's not going to fire Starr, because Starr is not making a mess. They're just dealing with this total spin control in a political way. Now, one of the things that the Clintonoids are saying to buttress the fact that Starr is a partisan. In fact, that is one of their charges. Starr is a partisan. He's a political partisan. And they say because, well, look, he considered running for the Senate in Virginia as a Republican. He's defended tobacco. And you know what, tobacco and Republicans. Yes, Starr is a conservative Republican. Okay. If that means, well, let's just take the charge to its logical conclusion. If Kenneth Starr cannot do a fair, proper investigation because he's a conservative Republican, does that mean then that none of the 93 United States attorneys appointed by Bill Clinton, most of whom are Democrats, all of whom owe their jobs to Clinton, does it mean that the 93 U.S. attorneys can't be trusted to prosecute individuals or businesses partial to Republicans? Remember, when Clinton took office, the first thing they did was fire the U.S. attorneys and replaced 93 of them with Clinton appointees. Now, these guys are presumably mostly Democrats, these men and women. Does that mean that whenever they go after Republicans, we shouldn't trust them because they're partisan? Does it mean that Democrat DAs or county prosecutors can't prosecute criminals who are registered Republicans? Or Republican district attorneys or county prosecutors can't prosecute criminals who are registered Democrat? Does it mean that any case brought by the U.S. government in the name of Janet Reno, a Democrat appointed by Clinton, is tainted because she's a political appointee? I ask you these questions just to have you consider this. I mean, what I've always done on this program is take what the administration says and analyze it. People say I'm a Clinton basher. I just repeat their words and put them through my own logical, analytical brain and say, okay, if Starr is no good because he's a conservative, is he the only prosecutor in America who is so infected? Or do we have to consider that all 93 U.S. attorneys appointed by Clinton, most of whom are Democrats, are partisan as well? Now, some of you may not want to answer the question. It makes you uncomfortable. You don't want to deal with it, but I would suggest that you deal with it. Now, the supposed reason that an independent counsel law was passed was to ensure that the prosecutor investigating possible wrongdoing by a president is independent from the president, not independent from life's experiences. We don't accuse Bob Bennett, the president's lawyer, of being a racist because he once represented Marge Schott, do we? We don't call Bob Bennett a felon because he once represented Dan Rostenkowski, do we? But yet we do about Kenneth Starr. I mean, this guy's rotten to the core because he once sat on a tobacco case. He's rotten to the core. The sad thing is that so many duped Americans just lap that up and buy into it. One other thing to clear up, or to actually expand on, we had a good call yesterday from a woman who wanted to have an answer to a question. She said, remember at a State of the Union show when the president suggested that free commercial time be offered to political candidates, that the networks should offer free time because politics is so important, the issues of America are so important. We got to get rid of all the money in politics. It's too strange. It's too funny. We got to get it out. And the networks ought to be made to offer it free. She wanted to know, is that his backdoor way of getting even at the media for what they're doing to him, or trying to squelch the media for what they're doing to him? And I said, no, it has other meanings. But I'd like to add this to yesterday's insightful analysis. Number one, the Democrats are tapped out. They don't have any money. They are in debt left and right. And now the president's fundraising ability may be lessened, and the whole Democratic Party's fundraising ability is going to be open to question now. The Democrats also, when they do raise funds, have to spend a lot of the money they raise on legal fees. They're overloaded with legal fees because many of them have violated the law and are being prosecuted for it. The cloud over the Democratic National Committee in Clinton has reduced contributions considerably because people do not want to be investigated themselves. If there is all this mystery and allegations surrounding the funny money scandals with the Chinese and the... Oh, by the way, Justice Department is going to indict the Xilai Temple, that Buddhist monastery. I have details on that too, but that comes a day after Charlie Tree. So there's a cloud over them, and the big contributors are not contributing as bigly. And number four, They don't control Congress. Democrats don't control Congress, so they don't get the big bucks they did when they controlled Congress. The dirty little secret about business, one thing, Revlon, been mentioned on this program, that's Ron Perlman. And Ron Perlman's probably taking an unfair hit here. People are assuming he might be in bed. The dirty little secret about big business is they play both sides. They're really not ideological. The notion that big business is aligned with Republicans is a myth anyway. They are aligned with whoever is in power. If you're in business, it makes absolutely no sense not to be aligned with people who are in power. And people shouldn't infer any ideological bonding. It's just the truth that whoever is in power gets the lion's share of the money. And the people in power in Congress are Republicans, meaning they're getting the lion's share of the loot. The Democrats aren't. So with all that, wouldn't you, as a Democrat, want free time on TV? You can't raise as much as your opponents can for all of these reasons. And that probably is one of the primary reasons that he made the mention. Now, Mike, grab Patricia Ireland, the president of the NAGs, the National Association of Gals, has explained hush-hush about these allegations. Here is Patricia Ireland.
That judge, there's a gap on these allegations as there was in the last issues. President Clinton has given on issues in the address which really appeal to women and affect women. Besides, right now, if we were to say who is it who looks like he's coercing Monica Lewinsky and against whom she may need a defense, it's Kenneth Starr, not President Clinton.
See?
You know, we don't want to rise to the bait of the commentators or radio talk shows, and when we don't have even a he said, she said situation, we have a he said, we've read, she said situation. That is, Kenneth Starr's office appears to be leaking information. We really don't have any evidence to have an opinion about the truth of these allegations.
Thank you, Pat. Way to weigh in on that. So here's what we face, friends. It's O.J. redone. The National Association of Gals love Clinton and will put up with anything. And many in the African-American / black community loved O.J. or hate the cops, whichever is the case, and therefore will put up with O.J. I think it's very close similarity. We'll take a break and be back with more. Your phone calls are next at 1-800-282-2882.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Today's Health Minute is from the nutritional experts, Natrol.
What's the best way to test your body fat? I'm Dr. Bruce Hensel. There are a lot of different ways. Calipers measure your skin thickness. They work and give you a general idea of body fat, but they may be off by a significant amount. The most accurate body fat test is water immersion, where you get weighed out of and then under water. If you don't want to get wet, there are other ways. Electrodes and a space-age device called the bod pod. Whatever you choose, do get tested. The lower your body fat, the greater your chances of living a long and healthy life.
Dieting is never easy, but Natrol Tonilin may help. Natrol Tonilin is derived from pure natural sunflower oil, a rich source of CLA, that's conjugated linoleic acid. Studies reveal that CLA may play a key role in reducing fat and increasing muscle tone. Researchers think it might even be the missing link for fat control. Just 2 capsules before mealtime, and Natrol Tonilin just might make your dieting a little easier. Natrol Tonilin is available where fine nutritional supplements are sold.
Presenting the Starr's Movie Channel theme song. Starr's is movies. No boxing, no concerts, only movies. Movies too big to miss, with hits just out of pay-per-view like Ransom and the English Patient. Starr's is what a movie channel should be. So call 1-800-758-5555 and say, I want to see Starr's.
Police Department, Sergeant John speaking.
Oh, please come quick. They're holding me hostage.
Now, calm down, ma'am. Can you try to describe them?
They're brown, ugly, and have antennas.
Ma'am?
They're roaches.
Roaches, is that your last name?
That's their only name. They're bugs, for goodness sake.
Well, you don't need the police. You need Griffin Exterminating. They can wipe out any pest problem you've got.
Even a leech?
You've got leeches, too.
Just one.
Ma'am?
My brother-in-law.
For all your pest problems, call Griffin Exterminating. Whether it's termites, fleas, or roaches, Griffin Exterminating is sure to come to the rescue. Call 735-3928.
For the finest in fresh and country cured pork products, it's the Pork King, the Hunter Pork Center. Follow the big yellow, red, and green signs for savings. Like fully cooked smoked hams, $1 a pound. Fresh cut chuck backbone, family pack, $1. Fresh meaty short ribs, family pack, $1 a pound. Fresh ground bulk sausage, $5 for the 5-pound pack, limit of 4. Fresh pork spare ribs, $1.59 in the family pack, limit of 2. Fresh pork tenderloin, $3.59 a pound in the family pack, limit of 2. Fresh sliced butterfly chops. Buy one box at regular price, get another for $1 a pound, limit of 4. Fresh cooked chitterling loaf. Buy one pack at regular price, get another for $1. Early bird special, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Pork barbecue. Purchase a pound for $1 with a $10 purchase, limit of 1. Extra meaty neck bones, $1 a pound. Smoked loin roast, $1 a pound, limit of 2. And free barbecue sandwiches Friday from 9 till 2. Remember, for the finest in fresh and country cured pork products, it's the Pork King, Nahunta Pork Center, just 1 mile west of Nahunta School off Highway 581.
Start the new year with the best Ford deal around. All 98 Ford cars, $1,200 rebates or 2.9% APR for 48 months, excluding SVTs and Crown Victorias. A 98 Taurus with $1,200 rebate or 2.9% APR for 48 months. A 98 Escort with $1,200 rebate or 2.9% for 48 months. A 98 Mustang gets you a $1,200 rebate or 2.9% APR for 48 months. You make the choice, you get the Ford with the rebate or interest rate to fit your budget. The best deal around, Snipes Ford, 321 East Ash Street, Goldsboro.
WGBR.
It is Open Line Friday, and now, after a considerable delay, it's to the phones we go. 1-800-282-2882. Thanks to all of you patiently waiting. And we go to Bricktown, New Jersey. Joyce, hello.
Hi, Gigaditto.
Thank you.
I agree with you that it's not about sex. It infuriates me when I'm out and that's all I'm hearing. Every time I hear it on the news, it just sends my hair up on end. And I really feel that this is what the Clintons want, to deflect the real issue and get the media to hype on the sex issue, because that will turn a lot of people off, and a lot of people don't care about it. And in that way, they can obscure the fact that this is about a long history of abuse of power, both in the bedroom and out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even the sexual issue does come into play, and his personal life is important because of a situation right now like we have in Iraq. What if we don't get the international support we need? And we have people saying, well, maybe this is a wag the dog situation. He is someone who...
Yes, you know, that is a good point. I may interrupt, as my host's inclinations sometimes are to do. You've just swerved into another thing here. A lot of people are hiding behind the fact that this is his private life, and it has no relationship to how he governs or does his job as president. And I disagree with this entirely, because Christopher Hitchens in his Los Angeles...